In the center of a village called Krobiso, surrounded by lush fruitful greenlands and rivers, there was a young man named Akwisi. He was an orphan who only knew hard work. He worked tirelessly to survive, leaving him little time for fun. One evening, on his way back from the farm, he saw an elegant and beautiful girl named Abina, the most beautiful girl in the village. Right away, he admired her but couldn't approach or speak to her. Days went by. And one morning, while hurrying to fill his water pot before going to the farm, he heard a young lady crying from a distance. He quickly ran there to help. But then, he saw that it was the same beautiful girl he had noticed before. "What's wrong?" Akwisi asked. "My water pot broke, and my stepmother will be very upset with me. I don't know what she'll do if she finds out." "She'll call me clumsy again," Abina replied. "Don't worry, I have my water pot up there. I'll give it to you with the water I need." Feeling excited and grateful, Abina smiled and took Akwisi's water pot home. Akwisi was happy to have a chance to be close to her, so he didn't mind giving up his water pot. From the moment he saw Abina, he knew she was the one he wanted to spend his life with. Abina was graceful and elegant, with eyes as bright as the morning sun and a smile that could melt even the coldest hearts. But Akwisi wasn't the only one drawn to Abina's beauty. Many suitors sought her attention, showering her with gifts and affection to win her heart. However, Akwisi was not discouraged by the competition. He knew that to win Abina's heart, he had to prove himself worthy of her love. With determination, Akwisi set out to win Abina's affection. He gave her wild flowers and whispered words of love under the moonlit sky, and slowly but surely, his efforts began to pay off. Abina's heart softened towards Akwisi, her cold exterior melting away to reveal her love for him. One day, as the sun set, Akwisi gathered his courage and declared his intention to make Abina his wife. With tears of joy streaming down her cheeks, Abina accepted his proposal, sealing their love with a beautiful hug. Soon, Akwisi began to prepare for the marriage rites. 3 market weeks later, they celebrated their wedding. The entire village came together to celebrate their union. As Akwisi and Abina exchanged vows, their love shone brightly, touching the hearts of everyone who witnessed it. For many years, Akwisi and Abina lived happily together. Their love grew stronger each day. They built a life filled with laughter, love, and prosperity, facing any challenges that came their way. Soon, Abina became pregnant and took care of herself for their unborn child. 9 months later, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Adoy. One night, shortly after Adoy was born, Abina fell seriously ill after drinking something poisoned. Akwisi was confused and wondered who would want to hurt Abina. He cried bitterly and called for herbalists to help her. The first one tried everything but failed. The second one tried even harder, but Abina still didn't get better. Akwisi was devastated but didn't give up. He heard of a powerful healer in another village and immediately invited her. When the healer arrived, she started treating Abina. At first, Abina showed signs of recovery, but soon the healer shook her head in frustration, saying the poison had deeply affected Abina. "What does that mean?" Akwisi asked. "I don't think her recovery will last," the healer replied. "The glow on her face is her spirit saying goodbye." Despite Akwisi's efforts, Abina slipped away, leaving him heartbroken and alone. With a heavy heart, Akwisi mourned his beautiful wife, consumed by grief. But he knew he had to stay strong for their daughter, Adoy, who was now the light of his life. Akwisi poured his love and devotion into raising Adoy, teaching her to hunt and instilling values of courage, strength, and perseverance. He took her with him on his daily hunts. Years passed, and under his guidance, Adoy became a skilled hunter, surpassing even the most experienced men in the village. No one dared hunt where Adoy hunted, because she didn't just hunt, she succeeded grandly. As Adoy grew into a successful young woman, she faced jealousy and resentment from the young hunters in the village. They saw her success as a threat and plotted against her. They conspired, saying, "We must stop her, or she will make us look weak." One day, while Adoy was hunting, some young hunters ambushed her, overpowering and raping her. Adoy was left broken and betrayed, her spirit shattered. She didn't tell her father, Akwesi, about the incident. Soon after, she began to show signs of pregnancy. Rumors spread throughout the village. When the village chiefs heard this, they investigated. When they confirmed Adoy was pregnant, they decided she must face banishment for being pregnant out of wedlock. Adoy's secret was revealed to Akwesi. Heartbroken and filled with rage, Akwesi fell ill. Weakened by grief, he watched helplessly as his daughter's bright spirit dimmed from the cruelty she faced. Knowing he couldn't stay in a place that had brought so much pain, Akwesi decided to leave with Adoy into exile. Together, Akwesi and Adoy journeyed through the forest, seeking refuge. They lived off the land, hunting and gathering food. Their bond grew stronger each day. 2 weeks into their banishment, Adoy miscarried, bleeding heavily. Just when all hope seemed lost, an old woman found them in the forest. Seeing their pain, the old woman took pity on them and offered shelter in a humble home in Accra village. She nursed Adoy back to health. Grateful for her kindness, Adoy and Akwesi stayed with the old woman, finding comfort in her company and wisdom. As days turned into weeks, Adoy began to heal, her spirit slowly returning. She made friends with other maidens in Accra. One festive season, the maidens were to dance in celebration at the village square. Adoy's friends encouraged her to join. The king of the village, a wise and compassionate ruler, noticed Adoy and asked about her. He learned she was a stranger seeking refuge. Despite her initial hesitation, Adoy accepted the king's proposal, knowing it would bring her father the security he needed. As they exchanged vows beneath an oak tree, Akwesi felt a sense of peace, knowing his daughter would be safe and cared for. With time, Adoy and her husband, the king, worked to bring prosperity and harmony to their village. With Adoy's insight and compassion and the king's wisdom, they formed alliances with neighboring communities and implemented beneficial policies. Despite their success, Akwesi couldn't shake the lingering sadness from his past. The memories of Abina and the pain of their loss weighed heavily on his heart. But amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope emerged. Adoy, now a mother, gave birth to a beautiful daughter. Holding his granddaughter, Akwesi felt a flicker of happiness, a joy he thought he had lost forever. As the years passed, Akwesi watched with pride as his granddaughter grew, her laughter filling their home with warmth and love. Together, they explored the forest, gathering berries and telling stories. Their bond was as strong as steel. But as Akwesi began to find peace, tragedy struck again. Adoy's husband, the king, fell gravely ill from a mysterious illness. As his condition worsened, the village grew anxious. Desperate to save her husband, Adoy turned to the old woman who had helped her before. With tears in her eyes, Adoy pleaded for help. The old woman, a powerful healer, joined Adoy in treating her husband. Miraculously, the king's health began to improve. His strength returned, and with it, his resolve to lead his people. Together, their love and dedication stronger than ever. As the years passed, Akwesi watched with pride as his daughter and her husband ruled, their legacy as enduring as the mountains. Though the pain of his past lingered, Akwesi found solace in knowing his family was safe and thriving. As the sun set over the village, Akwesi felt peace, knowing his beloved Abina was watching over them. He felt content, knowing his journey was complete and his legacy would live on. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to this channel to help it grow and don't forget to like this video. Thank you again, and see you in the next video. Stay blessed.